There are 6 main reasons why you're not losing weight. And in this video, I'm gonna break down what those are, but also more importantly, give you a solution and tell you what you should be doing instead to start to make those goals a reality. My name's Dr. Jared. I am a postpartum specialist. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I'm a personal trainer. I have a lot of experience working with clients, and specifically, I have a lot of experience working with moms. Now, inevitably, when moms come to see me, it's usually with a couple of goals in mind. The first one is usually, Jared, I want a flatter stomach. We work a lot with core rehab and postpartum care, diastasis recti repair, things of that nature. But inevitably, this other topic comes up, and it's the topic of weight loss. It says, Jared, you know, I've had a really hard time losing these last 10 to 20 pounds since my baby was born. I've tried everything and nothing has worked. And so this is the conversation that I usually have with those clients. It usually says, okay, let's look at what you've been doing, see if we can make a few of these tweaks, and then see what that eventually does. And inevitably, when we make these adjustments, they start to see incredible progress. So I hope that that's the benefit that you get from this video today. I hope that as you watch this, you identify 1 or 2 or 3 things that maybe you're doing now that you could tweak a little bit and do a little bit differently that will ultimately get you to that goal or that weight loss goal that you're pursuing. Now, the number one thing that I always start with whenever someone comes to me and they say, Jared, why aren't I losing weight? I always come back and I say, you tell me, why aren't you losing weight? And honestly, I would ask you that same question. And maybe this might be the most valuable part of this video for you, because what I have found is that when I turn around and ask that client or that patient that question, they are able to tell me the exact reason why. And it's usually in the form of a should. And so I should be eating less. I should be eating better. I should give up soda. I shouldn't be eating so much dessert. I shouldn't be drinking so much soda. For the most part, weight loss and nutrition and exercise, fitness in general is pretty simple, right? Eat less bad food, eat more good food, and move your body more. And usually the reason you're not losing weight is going to fall into one of those categories. And so I would ask you, maybe even drop a comment down below, what should you be doing in order to lose weight? And then why aren't you doing that thing? Why aren't you taking that step? If you need permission, not that you ever need permission, but if you need it here, I'm going to give it to you right now. Start doing that thing. I know it's hard and I know it's kind of scary. It's a little intimidating at first, but if you take that step and if you can stick with it long enough, I promise that you're going to start to progress and see development and see progression towards that goal that you're ultimately after. So that's totally a bonus tip. That's like the number one bonus tip. What should you be doing? And then have the courage to take that step. But that's not the reason why you're here. You clicked on this video because you want 6 reasons why you're not losing weight and what you should be doing instead. I've got them categorized for you in these 2 general categories right here. Because honestly, when it comes to weight loss, there are 2 factors that we can control. We can control our nutrition. We can control the calories that go into our bodies, right? And then the second thing we control is the exercise or the activity, the amount of calories that we burn in a day. And so within each of these, I've got 3 bullet points that I want to hit on. We're going to do it quickly in this video. Again, the 6 reasons why you're not losing weight. Number 1, and we're going to put this under the nutrition bullet, the number 1 reason is that you are not in a calorie deficit. Now, what is a calorie deficit? We all know what calories are. They're nutrition facts. They're on the back of everything that we eat, right? A calorie is actually a measurement of energy. That's how much energy you're going to get from eating that item. So for example, if I eat something that has 200 calories and then I burn 200 calories in the form of exercise, there is a net 0 calories behind that. Now, if I eat more than I burn, I am in what we'd call a calorie surplus. Your body is going to store that extra energy as fat. What we need to do, and again, bullet point number 1, is that we need to get into what we'd call a calorie deficit. We need to consume less than we burn, or said another way, we need to burn more than we consume. Honestly, if you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. This is like, I don't care what diet you've been recommended, I don't care what fitness plan you've been recommended, like this is science at its finest level. If you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. And the biggest reason behind that is that most of us actually way underestimate how many calories we eat, and we way overestimate how many calories we burn in a given bout of exercise or a given bout of activity. And so honestly, if you're not tracking this, you don't know exactly what those numbers are. And so what's the solution to this? Well, first of all, we need to know what your maintenance calories are. How many calories you're eating that are keeping you stuck in the same level that you're at. This is easy to do with an app. You can track your food through the day. Do that for a week and you'll have a good idea of how many calories that you're eating every single day. And again, now here's where we come to the solution. What we need to do is decrease that number. Now, I don't need you to go to an extreme. All I need you to do is reduce that number by about 10 to 20%. So to make math simple, if you're eating 2,000 calories in a day, try to reduce that by about 200 calories and see how you feel, see the progress that you make, see the results that you get. Again, about 10 to 20% reduction is what we typically shoot for. If you're eating a little more, 2,500 calories in a day, a 10% reduction would be 250 less calories, or a 20% reduction would be 500 fewer calories. But that should give you at least a good baseline. That's solution number one, is to get into that calorie deficit. Let's see, the mistake number two, or the second reason why people don't lose weight, is because you're eating the wrong types of calories. Now, not all calories are created equally. And my body is going to use 500 grams of a lean chicken breast a lot different than it's going to use 500 grams of a cheeseburger or French fries. This actually becomes a discussion about macronutrients. Your calories are going to fall into three main categories. It's going to be protein, it's going to be carbohydrates, and it's going to be fat. Those are the three main energy sources from which our body derives fuel to use throughout the day. Chances are, if you're not losing weight, it's because you're eating more carbohydrates and more fat, and you're not eating enough protein. And so the simple solution here is I want you to actually increase your protein intake. Now, not to break this down, it's kind of beyond the scope of this video, but not to get like way too granular, way too tactical with it, but in its broadest terms, 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight is a great number to start with. And so for example, if you are a 200-pound person, that means I want you to start to consume 140 grams of protein throughout your day. Each gram of protein has 4 calories in it. That's going to get you to 560 calories in your day. And then what I want you to do is fill in the rest with healthy carbs and with healthy fats. And just that change alone, decreasing the carbs and the fats and increasing the number of protein, usually is enough to get you started back on that right track towards that weight loss goal. And then reason number 3 why you might not be losing weight is you're actually not eating enough calories. And I know it seems a little counterintuitive. You think, well, if I need to be in a calorie deficit, I'm going to take it all the way to this extreme. But what happens if you're eating less than about 1,500 calories a day? Our bodies start to go into starvation mode and they cling tightly to whatever fat that we have because they don't know when that next burst of energy, i.e. that next meal, is going to be coming. And so if you're not consuming enough calories, your body actually starts to decrease its metabolism and burn fewer calories throughout your day just because it doesn't know when that next meal is going to be coming or when that next fuel source is going to be coming. How do you know if you're not getting enough calories throughout your day? There are 8 signs that people typically display when they're not getting enough calories throughout their day. I'm going to drop them right here. If you're getting any of these, or if you're displaying any of these, if you're on a super low calorie diet and have these and aren't losing weight, that might be a really good indication that you need to bump up your calorie intake throughout your day. And so again, the solution here is I recommend that you eat at least 1,500 to 1,600 calories a day. If you're eating a lot less than that and not seeing the progress that you want to, and again, displaying any of those signs, that might be a sign that we need to increase our calories throughout the day. And so again, those are kind of the 3 points under the nutrition bullet. That's one of the points that we have control over. The second one is going to be exercise or activity. So again, we've talked about calories in. This is going to be a discussion about calories out, or how many calories that we burn throughout the day. And so the number one most obvious is you're just not moving enough. And so if you have a desk job and you wake up in the morning, you drive to your desk job and you sit all day, and then you come home and you sit at dinner, and then you sit at night and watch a show or sit in front of your computer, whatever that is, you might not be just moving enough throughout your day. The plain and simple solution here is to increase your movement or to increase your activity. Start to do more throughout your day and look for ways that you can make that happen. Is that being more active after dinner, going on a walk? That's one of our favorite activities. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Maybe you need to wake up a little earlier and go for a walk around the block. Maybe you need to park a little further away at the grocery store so that you can get a few more steps in throughout your day. 10,000 steps is a great number to shoot for. There are fitness trackers all over. You can get a wearable. I mean, it's on your phone in most instances. Start to pay attention to how much you're moving throughout the day and make sure that number is conducive to your goals. Basically, in simplest terms, move a little bit more. Increase your activity. That's solution number one. Number two, this actually has to do with spot reduction. People are exercising and getting in activity, but they're doing it the wrong way. These are the people that come to me and say, well, Jared, I'm doing all of this core work. I'm doing all these sit-ups. I'm doing all these crunches, and I'm not seeing any improvement. I'm not seeing any weight loss. And I'll say, well, yeah, well, what are you doing in addition to the core work? And they'll say, oh, that's about it. I get about 10 minutes of core work in every day. Now, core work is great at strengthening your muscles, but it's horrible at fat reduction. And again, it's for this reason. You cannot spot reduce fat. I can't do sit-ups and expect to lose belly fat. I can't do squats and expect that to tone my thighs and expect to lose fat only in my thighs. I can't do push-ups and expect to lose fat in my arms. That's just not how it works. The easiest analogy that I like to draw is, imagine I had a bathtub full of water and I said, I want to drain water from one corner only. And so I have a cup or whatever and I take a scoop from that corner and I throw it out. Is it possible for me to reduce just the water in that one area of the tub? And the logical solution is, well, no, it's not. Your body's the exact same way. With continued effort, you're not only going to lose fat from the area you're trying to focus on, but overall percentage body fat as well. And so again, solution number two is we're going to stop trying to spot reduce fat and start focusing on some of these other methods that are going to result in total fat loss instead. And that brings us to the sixth most common reason that I see why people aren't losing body fat, and that's simply that you're not getting in the right type of activity. Now, most people think if they exercise regularly, they have to work out as hard as they can, as long as they can, in order to burn the maximum number of calories possible. And what happens is people just get burnt out. If you're doing these high intensity workouts 4, 5, 6 days a week, it's just not a path that you can sustain long enough to see the return on that. A lot of times it's not enjoyable. A lot of times there's a lot of fatigue. There's body aches, there's joint aches. There's a lot that goes into having to do that high intensity activity day after day after day. And so rather than jumping into that HIIT style workout, the high intensity interval training workouts, what if we actually decrease the intensity? Yeah, we give up some calorie burn, but we do what we would call a low intensity steady state cardio instead. We might have to exercise for a little longer to burn the same number of calories, but what's fascinating is that your body actually burns more body fat at the lower intensity exercises. Let me say it again because it's important. The higher intensity the activities, the more carbohydrates that we tend to burn. If we decrease the intensity, we can actually shift our fuel source to stored body fat. And then we keep the intensity right there for a longer period of time. There's less joint fatigue, there's less muscle soreness. It's a little more enjoyable. You can do it more regularly. It's something you can do 6 or 7 days a week instead of 3 or 4 days a week. And all of a sudden, you start to see more progress. And so if you're one that loves the higher intensity activities, don't give that up completely. I don't want you to give up those higher intensity days altogether, but what I recommend is that you supplement that with some lower intensity activities to capitalize on some of those benefits as well. Now, of course, if you're looking for a program that puts all of this into place for you, this is exactly what our Mommy Tummy Fix program is built around. We not only talk core rehab, we also talk nutrition, we also talk low intensity steady state cardio. We hold your hand through that. We show you exactly how to do it. We make it easy, we make it fun, and we make it attainable for you. If you're interested in that, we've got it linked in the description, or you can just head over to mommytummyfix.com to learn more about that. Now, if you're interested in those low intensity workouts, we've got a number of them here on the Mommy Tummy Fix channel. This is one of our favorites. You might click on that to check that out. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, hit the circle right here to do that. We'd love to see you back for future videos. Hope this was helpful, and we hope to see you again soon.